prayer today is ever faithful Father, as long as I live, I will never stop worshiping God. He has shown me undiluted love, and I pray for my heart to be able to contain the things He has not yet attended to in my life. Amen.
So on March 3rd, for maintenance, I approved hiring Tyler Wilkinson for the position of full-time senior trades mechanic to be effective March 20th, 2023, at the rate of $18.13 per hour for the one-year probationary period. The offer of employment was contingent upon the successful completion of required pre-employment conditions. And on March 6th, for Job and Family Services, I acknowledged the following new hire appointment as the Director of Job and Family Services complied with the Board of Commissioners recruitment and hiring procedures for Marlene DeMarco, Clerical Specialist 3, for a replacement position, effective January 31st, 2023. And for the Department of Water Resources, approved and executed a service contract agreement with Yarnell Tree Company to perform tree maintenance as needed at various locations within the department for a period of 1 year, effective March 6, 2023, in an amount not to exceed $1,500.
Okay. Do we have a motion for January 24th minutes?
So moved.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning.
Okay, today's financials included supplemental appropriations in the Commissioner's Capital Reserve Fund 2019 to cover any change orders this year. There are cash transfers from Water Resources from the Bainbridge Water Thompson Wastewater Treatment Plant and Parkman Revenue Bond funds to move remaining seed money in those project funds back to their sources or to debt retirement, and transfers from the general fund to community development for their first quarter 2023 operational funding commitment and their fourth quarter 2022 payroll funding reimbursement. Among the encumbrances are then announced from the Commissioner's Office, Ibold and O'Brien and Raymond Joseph Kodum for appointed council fees from 2020 and 2021 that were not previously encumbered. There are several travels, one from JFS to attend the National Association of Drug Court Professionals RISE 23 Annual Conference, from Probate Court to attend the Ohio Association of Magistrates 2023 Spring Conference, from the Public Defender's Office to attend the Ohio Association of Criminal Defense Lawyers Advanced OBI Seminar, and travel requests from the Treasurer's Office to attend the County Treasurers Association of Ohio 2023 Spring and Fall Conferences. Among the vouchers are $158,959 from the Engineer's Office to Grade Line Incorporated for the replacement of Rolling Brook Drive Bridge, and $31,999 from JFS to Junction Buick GMC Incorporated for a new 2023 GMC Terrain all-wheel drive replacement vehicle. And finally, a revenue certification from the Common Police Court Technology Fund for additional revenue to be received this year.
Great. Make the motion.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. There he is. Good to see you. How you been?
Good.
Good. Yeah, that's the time of year.
Asking for the annual certification of the road mileage, what is it? ODOT required road information system for the county roads, 224.757 miles. Townships have all been completed, and this is how this year.
How many miles in the township?
Townships, I mean, you can ask me that. I can tell you there's one, I don't have it.
Approximately. I'll call you later.
Call me later.
All right.
I'll give you a rundown.
I will make that motion.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks, Ian. Appreciate it.
Yep.
Hi.
Well, I'm here today, something a little bit different. You normally see me for a subdivision plat approval, so what I have today is related to septic system lot evaluations. I'm just going to read the resolution title and then kind of go into each field after that. So it's resolution 23 039 to suspend enforcement of a lot evaluation requirement for large lots, which are more than 5 acres and up to, including 20 acres as regulated in section 305D of the subdivision regulations for household sewage disposal system. Okay, so this goes back, back in around October, November of 2022, Planning Commission, I had presented to Planning Commission some potential edits to the subdivision regulations. So that process is going to take probably 6 months to a year, depending on how much has changed and how much discussion there is. But there was a lot of discussion between the staff, the health department, the surveyors, property owners, realtors about the lot evaluation requirements for large lots. So again, between 5 and 20. So anytime somebody splits their property, they have to obtain a lot evaluation approval from the health department. And that's to say that, okay, it's feasible to put a septic system on this lot. So really what the experience has been is that those are really never denied. I mean, not to say that it couldn't happen, but chances are slim that it would happen. So the discussion evolved in that we could potentially, the Planning Commission could potentially request the county commissioners temporarily suspend that regulation, knowing that it's going to take 6 to 12 months to get through the actual redlining of the subdivision regulations, kind of more as a courtesy. And the reason for it's basically a relaxation of the requirements is that there are a lot of different type of septic systems that are available to residents now, which there weren't in the past. The lot evaluation approval is only valid for 5 years, so you spend that $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 to get a lot evaluation done, and then it's only valid for 5 years, and then you potentially have to go through that process again. And then also buyer beware. I mean, as a purchaser of a piece of property, you have to know what you're buying, and it doesn't prevent somebody from doing a lot evaluation on their own accord. You can still do that. So the Geauga Public Health did pass a resolution 2023-1 at their January 25th meeting, rescinding the requirement for a lot evaluation for lots over 5 acres. I do want to point out the technicality. If it's 5.001, it's over 5 acres. If it's 5.000, it's under 5 acres, and a lot evaluation is still required. That's known as a minor subdivision. So then, based upon Geauga Public Health passing that resolution, the Planning Commission at their February meeting voted to request the county commissioners temporarily suspend enforcement of that subsection 305D, and it's only as it relates to household sewage disposal. It's not commercial.
Okay.
So that is.
Do you have any requests in now that are active? Is there any that are going on?
There is probably less than 10. And basically, if this passes today, because this is a lessening of a requirement, we're not making it a more strict requirement. If someone is already in the lot evaluation process, let's say they hired a soil scientist and a septic designer, it's not done yet, but let's say they're in the process. If they plan on building within 5 years, they might as well just finish the process.
Okay.
But if they don't plan on building within 5 years, it's basically up to them if they want to continue that process. If we were making it more strict of a regulation, we would be adamant about that they would have to have an application, a full application in prior to this date. But
I see.
it's if this passes, then we'll be able to tell somebody you can make the decision whether you want to continue with it or not.
Okay. Very good.
Adam, do you have anything to say about your meeting? I mean, that's where the process started, was at the health board.
Yeah, no, I think as it was brought to our attention, I think it's good for the community. It takes down the fees that kind of get associated with things that aren't always necessary. As mentioned, still buyer beware in terms of, you need your due diligence before you buy anything, so you're buying a car or something else. But it should take a lot of the onus off the homeowner. It's sometimes just unnecessary, fees that are tacked onto something. So it should be good for the community, I think, in general.
Thanks.
Okay. Good. I will make that motion.
Second?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you, Dana. Very good.
Good morning, Linda.
Wow, deja vu, all over again.
Yes.
As you know, I'm sure, I spent quite a bit of time during my 2 weeks so far talking to people. I talked to administrative people and I talked to elected officials to try and get a sense of where we are and where we need to be. And that's what the basis of these recommendations is, because I know what's going to be happening with my staff over the next couple of years. This is a succession plan, in part at least.
Great.
In addition, it was made clear to me that one courier run a day is probably inadequate for this entire facility, and so we're going to do 2 for this entire facility eventually, which is...
Time's up.
I don't think so. It's not coming through.
Well, the fire alarm is not going off on the wall, so it's not a fire alarm.
You want to see downstairs, Jerry?
I'll go check.
All right. Do we do it so you can go?
All right.
Oh, there's, they might be working on that system.
We're all safe, Jerry.
Exercise.
Yeah, you know what the new sheriff
Their source was here yesterday working on the panic alarm.
Yeah, like those things by the elevators. Yeah, I think that's what those are. I'm not sure. I think that's what it is. You can see they're setting things up. Say, hey, what's wrong?
Right.
Devin was working on it yesterday.
They're getting them all started right before they go to work. You know, all that stuff's there, but just getting the cheap and stuff.
Do you have any questions about the things I'm proposing?
So just maybe if you could give us just a quick rundown, just so that we're all clear on that.
Yeah, like what you're recommending.
After one-on-ones with each person in my staff, I realize that every single one of them is a flight risk at some point or another, so I'm trying to plan for that. We know that Ashley plans to leave when she graduates, so we're going to bump her up, give her some good experience to take with her, get her out of being the courier. We have redone the job description she's currently in to include twice-a-day courier service for this facility, with the idea that that person will be trained up to then take her place, and we wouldn't replace that then.
Now, is Ashley the one that's currently in school for
Correct.
archives?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. But, and she said she's leaving?
Yes.
For sure?
Yes. It's kind of cute, actually.
Okay.
So she's leaving, but like
Yeah, about a
to do
year
the
and a
same
half.
thing?
No, she's interested more in going to like a historic society type situation.
I see.
Because, believe me, I talked to her about that.
Yeah, I
But
figured.
She's 20, she's got her plans, and God bless her, you know.
Mhm.
So that's what this is all about, to replace her. And that gives us plenty of time to get that person in here and up to speed. In the meantime, I have every position creating a manual of their duties and responsibilities, in particular the archival position, the historical research, because right now Claire's the only one who knows how to do it. We're going to cross-train to everybody on how to do that, and it will be a written manual. So that way there's not just one person who knows how to do it.
That makes sense.
I am going to be meeting with Jerry later today to go into more detail about the succession plan for the entire, my exit strategy. So,
Good. And then, talking to other elected officials and, mainly, I think a lot of it's coming out from up on the Hill, a lot of the materials that are ending up here. Are we being very clear what their responsibilities are and what archivists and records responsibilities are?
yes.
Because I think what was happening was a lot of, they were kind of just throwing this all onto archives and records, some in saying, here, you deal with it, or instead of maybe preparing things at the front end, getting it ready to be received here, right?
I just want you to know that we have enough room
Okay.
in perpetuity if we manage it correctly, without additional shelving, I believe. We have every box, APP sent me 2 guys for a whole morning, and we put every box on a shelf.
Good.
I'm working on preparing to update the database. I think we're actually in pretty good shape. There are a lot of things that were in the wrong place, and we're still working on moving them around. But we're in pretty good shape, and we have already told everybody who wanted to send boxes that they can. The shred, we're probably gonna have to do 2 shreds because we have that much of a backlog, and we're really struggling with the shred contract because we just haven't gotten it back yet. We got it back from the vendor, but we haven't got that from the prosecutor yet.
What's the problem with that? I mean, that should be as simple as anything we've ever done, getting the shredder in here.
But you can't do it till the contract is complete. And what happens is we get the contract, the changes get made, it goes back to the vendor sends it back to
Oh, I
us,
see.
it goes back to
Oh,
the
I see what you're
prosecutor
saying.
again, and we're working through the
Okay,
process.
okay.
And there will be a shred, hopefully sometime this month, and possibly 2, because there are so many boxes that need to be shredded.
But the good news is, from Jogga Trumbull Solid Waste, you received the grant
We did receive the
for
grant, well, that is very good
$3,500.
news.
Yeah, because that was on our agenda when we went down to Trumbull for the meeting. On the
Great.
28th, February 28th.
Great,
Yeah,
I sent you
that'll
an
help.
email yesterday asking you what the status on that
And I
was.
responded on
But I haven't opened my email yet.
And
'cause
that
I
won't
didn't
hold
hear it.
anything off the grant. I mean, you've received it
It's a-
already, it's done, yeah.
it. Well, it's a reimbursement.
Yeah, okay, oh, good.
That's why I said,
Yeah, we pay first, then we
Right.
get it back, but that's
get your
good.
contract figured out,
Yes,
get the shredder up here, and then it's a reimbursement
And
program.
then you can take the shredder up to the square too? Is that
yes,
the idea?
actually, I know the sheriff has about 50 boxes, we are even gonna maybe talk to them about just shred it there.
Mhm.
Shred at the auditor,
Agreed.
but then JFS has stuff that needs to come in, we have our 150 boxes, and I think they said that one truck can do 300.
So, but it's mobile, they can just go, instead of us having to bring
Yeah.
everything here, they can,
They-
Yes.
yeah, good idea.
Yes, we just haven't, the auditor is on board with that. I haven't talked to the lady at the sheriff's office yet,
Mhm.
because we're just not there yet. But
Okay.
we're getting closer.
Super, well, you've done a super job in a short amount of time getting that.
Have you been downstairs? It's
Not since-
amazing.
Not since the last time I was down there.
I swept the floor. It had been swept in 3 months. So all the boxes are up.
And there's some rhyme and rhythm down there. and-
Yes.
Yeah. Mhm.
The next, I persuaded the staff that we did not need to move all the boxes. I pretty much said, you know, if this was a warehouse full of cereal, would all the cornflakes have to be next to each other? No, the database would tell us where the cornflakes are.
Right, right.
So that's what we're going to do.
Some inventory, yeah.
But you can't do it until everything's labeled. And I still have half a box of labels.
I'm going through all that, yeah.
Did they talk to you about your laptop?
Yep, no
I
problem.
can use that
For
because
100%.
that way I can take it downstairs and just start
Easy.
entering the data for that. So this is the beginning, and again, I'll be meeting with Jerry later today for, to flesh out what the plan is in the long term.
Sounds good.
But I
Yeah.
feel very good that you have everything you need to keep going, you have enough room, and you have enough shelving, and we're in good shape.
And then where did we sit with like the outside service possibly to come in to scan? That we were talking about?
have not even
Okay.
considered that yet. I
So
would-
that,
Go ahead.
that's what I was talking about. A lot of that scanning can be happening on the front end. It's not necessarily on the onus of archives and records to be doing
Right.
that, I think, right?
Correct.
So they can be doing, like, if they have the equipment, they can
Yes.
be scanning this instead of, dumping this all in boxes in the basement.
So much of what we do is court-related,
Mhm.
and the stuff that's being created at the clerk of court's office, it's digital already.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of us doing the work of, and we're starting that this week. Ellie told me she thinks tomorrow she's going to begin sending images, because we had an issue with whether the FTP site was sufficiently secure and encrypted, and so they've been going back and forth, and it is, and it's ready, and we're going to start sending images and making film again.
Oh, good.
She's going to pivot to using about 100% of her time on film, and we're also going to be training Ashley on some of the more technical aspects, using the densitometer and the loop and the whole thing to make sure that the film meets the standards that we need.
Mhm. And that'll free up a ton of space.
Exactly, and that's the way to the future, which is why I say we probably have enough in perpetuity if we manage it
If
right.
you do that, go that route.
Yes.
Do we have enough equipment there that possibly, like, we could almost get a summer position there too,
To do what?
for scanning?
Well, this new person we're hiring will fill the last
Will fill that,
scan
okay.
station. So
Okay.
we'll have 3 full scan stations, although if Ellie's doing film, you could maybe get an intern to do scanning as well.
Right.
I would rather we do it because we can enforce the standards that we like. And a lot of times these bulk scanners do not, and you end up with folded things
Right.
and missing pages.
You gotta look at every individual, like, make sure you're doing this right.
we're not gonna get rid of the
The
paper
quality.
until we know we have every image is there and it is legible, because that's the standard for the records.
It's been over a year since any of the departments has given anything to archive, because at this point, we're bottlenecked here and up at the other departments, so.
Yes, we've
that's
already,
why we brought you in
we're sending stickers this week, boxes are coming,
Good.
we have places for
Now,
them.
you've done a great job grading this thing and getting it
Yeah,
back.
well, and I learned that we still have some shelving left on at 470, so I'll be working with Glenn to bring everything we have here. But everything is on a shelf right now, and I think we have enough room for everything that everybody wants to send. I think we're in good shape, I really do.
Good.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
It's been a
You solved a big
blast, I'm
problem.
having so
Yeah.
much fun, so thanks for calling, Ralph.
No, congrats, I appreciate you taking this challenge and helping us. So I'll make a motion, or do we have a motion on all those motions?
Yeah, 6, 7,
10, or
6,
6 through
7,
9?
8, yeah.
8, 9?
Yep.
Okay, I'll second that.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
I really appreciate your support for
Yeah,
everything we're doing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Somebody will be there.
Departments.
There.
So this is basically to accept the continuation certificate for McCaskey Landscape and Design, snow plowing, salt, and cinder in our county owned site, group number 2, from March 31st, 23 to the 31st, 2024.
Okay.
This is for their snow bond.
Yep.
This is the second
Bond,
year.
just with the new year, they need a new bond, so this is a
Okay.
continuation of it.
This is a continuation of the bond or the
The
contract?
bond, the contract was a 2-year contract, this is continuation of the bond.
From,
So
and what's the contract from? What's the dates on that?
Give it 22 to
22
seasons of
24.
22 through 24. So it was March of 22 through March of 24.
Because it was a 2-year contract when we did it.
Correct.
Because we're, I don't care who the snowplow company is, I think it's a disadvantage to the county by having a start and end in March when, maybe it should be in May, because March are still snow. Snow removal.
This is just the bond, because the contract
Okay.
was already approved previously for 2 years.
Okay,
This is just because we've already gone through the
His
first year,
initial
so just
bond
have
was
to do
only a
second
year.
bond
okay.
for the second year.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Okay. I'll make the motion.
Second?
Commissioner Lennon?
Aye.
Commissioner DeWort?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
Hey,
Good morning.
morning.
How are you?
Guys.
Good morning. Good to see you. Yes, sir. How you been? Getting close, huh?
We're down here.
Good.
All right, Transit Reversing Board to approve and execute the interagency transit service agreement between Lake Tran and Jog County Board of Commissioners for Lake Tran to administer and provide operations of shared ride paratransit services and public transportation for Jog County residents under the identity of Jog County Transit to be fully effective July 1st, 2023. The fully effective is because it's going to take between now and then, and we're going to be implementing things as we go. So there's no way we can just one day
Flip the switch.
flip a switch, it just will never happen.
Mhm.
So that's why it's the fully by July 1st, everything will be switched and done.
And when would probably the most important would be the personnel. When would that happen? Would that be immediately, effective immediately?
July 1st would be the date we start there, June 30th
Oh.
would be the date we start, we end here.
Okay.
Then we have time to get the insurance set up and all the time transferred over and overs, and all of that stuff needs to be transferred, so we want to be able to have time to get all of that done. It'll
Yeah.
take effect July
And
1st.
payroll?
Right, so June 30th would be the last
Mhm.
day, and then July 1st would be the
And,
first.
and they train will be handling payroll as well? Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there's no interruption, no lapse in coverages, insurances?
Correct.
Good.
And that's why we wanted enough time so that we could get it all set up.
Okay.
Because the insurance, like, we'll have to do it ahead of time to get it set
Gotcha.
up, so it takes effect July 1st, because if we don't set it up before,
I
then it won't take effect July
Yep.
1st. And we want it to take effect, 30th will be the last day, and then the 1st will be the first day.
Nice.
Very good. Yeah, I had an opportunity to review the contract. It was lengthy. Obviously, there was a lot of back and forth going between, our prosecutor, probably your prosecutor. And I appreciate all the effort there. And, I'm comfortable in moving forward with this. I think at the end of the day, this will give a lot more flexibility to Geauga County being able to participate in this going into the future, this transportation. I mean, the writing was really on the wall for a county our size and with the investment that we would have to make into this. You know, this obviously is I think this is a big step, but we're also kind of dipping our toe in the water. We still have the opportunity to review this in the future, and if things are not going the way that we
Absolutely.
envisioned, we can always come
And
back.
that's why it's
Yeah.
on purpose, that it's
Yeah,
both sides, if they see something they don't like,
yeah, yeah.
you can move from it. I really do think it'll be an advantage. It's gonna take us a little bit with the grants to get the money coming in,
Mhm.
but once we get the grants coming in, the money coming in, I think it'll get the transportation, you'll be able to get more vehicles, more drivers, and get more rides
Yeah,
provided.
and I
It's
think-
gonna take a little bit to get there.
I like the idea of being a little more hyper-focused with our transportation, instead of having these bigger vehicles, getting something, I like the idea of smaller, like vans, where you can be a little more specific in your routes.
Right.
And more customized, I guess.
Because I don't always have 12 people on board.
Exactly.
We all know that. That's
Yeah.
not,
We just don't want empty vehicles rolling around with nobody in them, and this way I think it'll be a lot more specific,
This gives them the flexibility that they don't have as just being Geauga Transit.
Yeah.
Right.
Because of all the FODOT's rules. Joe's
Right.
had that gone
Round,
around
round,
a number of
round.
times, trying to figure out ways to make this work, and it's always came back to ODOT won't allow us to do that.
Mhm.
So with this, we'll be able to capture more grant money, save funds, and service more residents.
correct. So the idea is we can get more grant money and put that grant money into more transportation.
Right.
So, I mean, we're still, can't make any money, that's still what we are, but if I get more money in grants, we save money on the vehicles, I can put more into drivers and vehicles to provide more transportation.
What-
In the end, it's all about transportation, who
Absolutely.
I can get where they need to go.
What will change, anything front-facing, residents of Geauga County, will anything change as far as the way they interact or see with transportation right now?
The answer is no, except for it should be better in the end. Once we're on their server and I can do it, I don't have to do the disconnection because we're trying to VPN over to them. It's
Okay.
gonna be easier. In the way of calling in, it'll still be the same thing, they can call in, they'll be able to do online. I think it'll improve as we are not, once I said, once we're on a server with them and not the county VPN, and then there's a lot of issues on that end.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's something, I think once we get it fixed and when we're directed, it'll be great.
Okay.
Phone numbers we have to work with, do it, and making sure if I can take the number, the fifth, do a new number, but either way, we'll make sure that we are well broadcasted, and if people get into us, will not be an issue. We'll still say Geauga Transit, we'll still be there, we'll still be located over here.
No change there, yeah.
No, it'll still be logo Geauga County Transit.
Okay, very good. I appreciate I know you've worked on this for quite a while now and bringing this to fruition. Do you have any comment or any insight into this further for us? Or?
No, I think everything Joanna said is correct. I think it'll take a little bit of time to get things kind of going with the extra funds and stuff, but I feel confident that's going to happen. I've had multiple conversations with ODOT. I actually was telling Joanna when I got here, there's a grant that I was just notified of that will help get some buses replaced. It's through a for-profit organization called NeoRide, which is a regional council of governments, and they're applying for, it's a long story, but I think we can get some buses hopefully pretty quick. I appreciate all the work and openness you guys have had to the process, and it's been good.
Yep, and your commissioners have been a part of this process throughout, and they're comfortable as well, obviously.
Yep, our county commissioners up in Lake County are all supportive of this. Our board voted to approve it Monday the 27th, so everything is good on our end to do this.
Start moving forward, good. Well, thank you very much. I know this took a lot of time and planning and effort, so I just want to thank you all for your hard work.
Thank you.
Very good.
All right.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Commissioner Lennon?
Yes.
Commissioner Moore?
Yes.
Commissioner Spillier?
All right.
Thank you very much.
See, talk to you soon.
You're here, look. See?
Morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
We have three items today from Water Resources. The first two culverts are requesting Board grant permission to advertise for 2 positions. The first position, full-time assistant water supervisor, number 2352. And the second position, full-time design engineer, number 2305. Both positions will be posted until filled. This is 12 and 13.
Okay, so move on 12 and 13.
Second? Aye. Yes.
Yes.
Our last item, we're requesting the board approve and authorize the president of the board to execute the USDA annual reporting requirements, certify list of governing body, and contact persons regarding the facility, financial information, and general.
Make motion.
Second.
Aye.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in. Do the man.
I'm trying every day.
Thank you.
See you, Steve. Okay. This one is signed.
Yeah, this is from February, that we just missed.
Oh, Christie, there was a, so library board, there was, our appointment, you passed away.
Yes, and Jerry and I talked about it when we got the letter, and we responded back to Ms. Carroll, and, because in the letter that she requested if you wanted to go ahead and advertise, so we had her go ahead
Okay.
and put it on their website to advertise for the board position
Yeah.
with all applications to be sent here.
Yeah, I got one the other day.
Yes,
Yeah.
we just got one yesterday. Same thing with mental health. They posted the advertisement
Okay.
for the board positions, and the applications are starting to come in for that as well. So,
Okay, okay. Did we put a date on those at all, or no? No.
The current mental health positions, there's 3 of them that will expire at the end of June. So the other one I know that has come in so far is Mr. Orwich's
Okay.
for mental health.
Okay, and we can start, we've already started advertising for that. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
they've had it up on their site.
Very good. Okay, good. I think probably I'll call the library president, just check in and see what their status is on that, if they're gonna have more people, I think Ms. Patrone, is she still the president there?
Miss Carroll,
Ms. Carroll?
Chris Carroll.
That's the director.
That's
Yes.
the director.
Chris
Or the
Carroll.
president of the board,
I'm
Kathy
not sure who the
Patrone.
president of the board is. I
Okay.
don't know who the president of the board is.
Okay.
It changes every year, so.
But I think they're looking for us to replace somebody quickly in that. So-
Correct, and that's why we got it posted right away. It's to fill his unexpired term.
Right, that's what that's.
So it goes through 26.
Yeah, there's
So
as long
it's-
as, there's like 7 years.
They're 7-year terms,
Yeah.
so that's why it's not, the vacancy is there, but whoever you're gonna put in there has to understand that it's to fill the current term, and it's through 26. It's
Okay.
not a new term starting over,
Right.
it's to fill the remainder of that unexpired.
Okay.
Just to finish it up.
So, yes. Township Association is
12.
April 12th at Thompson. It's at the Jaga Innovation Center, which is the formerly Ledgemont Elementary School. So if you'd like to attend, please let me know. I have to get the RSVP in by April 7th.
I will be attending.
Okay. Jerry is going to.
Very good.
Okay.
Motion adjourned?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Yeah.